There are two key points that you need to understand as a critical thinker. And in order for you to become empowered in your own body, and in order for you to start to understand how natural healing happens, two critical points that I believe lay the foundation for healing naturally, for understanding how food works as medicine. Two main key points. The first one is that your body is made up of 1 trillion cells, something like that, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of cells. You have hundreds of millions of cells that make up your eyes, make up your skin, your hair, your nails, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, your brain, your digestive system, your reproductive system, your organs. Every single system in your body is made up of millions and millions of cells. You're made up of cells. And these cells need to eat to function. If we put aside eating as something we do for enjoyment and we eat because, we love certain foods, we crave certain foods, at its core, we eat so that we can feed our cells, so that our cells can be alive, so that they can function, so that we can stay alive and we can function. If our cells are not being fed, or if they're being fed improperly, they start to malfunction, so we start to malfunction. So at the core of any disease that you might be feeling are malfunctioning cells. You have to know this. The core of what's happening with you, if you feel something is off with you, or if you actually have a diagnosed condition, are malfunctioning cells. Which brings us to the key point number 2. Disease is caused by two things and two things only. So when the cells malfunction, they malfunction because of two things and two things only: toxicity and deficiency. Toxicity and deficiency. When they're overloaded, your cells, when you're trying to overload them, you're trying to feed them highly processed, toxic foods, very low on nutrients, and then they're deficient, and when they actually need to function, whole foods, nutrient-dense foods, hydration, they start to malfunction. They can't do their job properly. The cells in your hair can't do their job properly. The cells in your liver can't do their cells properly. The cells in your ovaries can't do their job properly. So they start to malfunction. And depending on where your cells malfunction, depending on the organ cells, this is what's going to be labeled as a disease. So in conventional medicine, each set of symptoms or each set of malfunctioning cells gets a different label. So when you see a malfunction in your uterus and you have growths, it's called fibroids, or maybe it's endometriosis. Or when your thyroid starts to malfunction, they're going to call it Hashimoto's. Or when your pancreas starts to malfunction or your insulin starts to malfunction, it's called diabetes. Or maybe your label is high blood pressure, or maybe it's happening in your skin and it's called acne or eczema. Maybe your label is PCOS. And then in conventional medicine, each one of these diseases has a different solution or a different pill or a different therapy. And conventional medicine literally has over 12,000 different names for diseases in the body. In alternative health, we take a slightly different approach, because the reality is that each one of these diseases is simply, like I told you, a set of cells that is malfunctioning because of toxicity and deficiency. And this is really one of the biggest differences between conventional medicine and alternative healthcare, and why we see that you can rebalance the body and use food as medicine and reverse and heal your conditions. We see the body as a whole. In alternative healthcare, we see all the different systems are made up of cells. We know that all the different systems are connected to each other. We know that when there is a problem with the liver, there's a downstream effect on your hormones, on your estrogen, on your thyroid. We don't look at everything as disconnected. We know that the root cause of the functions are cells that are malfunctioning. We know that if the cells are functioning normally, they won't get sick. regardless of the organ or the system that they belong to. And all the cells in your system behave in the same way. So the cells inside your liver and the cells inside your ovaries all need the same nutrition. They all eat and they all excrete. They all behave in the same way. And as a result, they can all be functioning optimally, or they can malfunction in the same way too, when they're overloaded with toxins and not getting enough nutrition. So toxicity and deficiency. So the reason that healing can be so simple is that all we have to do is remove the sources of the toxicity and replenish the deficiency. And any malfunctioning cell will start to function as it should when you do that, regardless of which organ it belongs to. There aren't 12,000 different diseases. There's one main cellular malfunction that results in different symptoms. One main cellular malfunction that results in different systems. Yes, you may have a genetic weakness, but the genetic weakness doesn't manifest on its own. Your cells still have to malfunction in order for you to show the symptoms. And this happens when you expose your cells to too much toxicity and deprive them of what they need to thrive. So in order to heal any chronic condition, you have to look at the root cause. If you want to heal naturally, you need to look at the root cause. If you want to be, discerning and critical about your health and question what's happening with you, you need to dig deep and you need to look at the root cause, and it's in your cells. Remove the toxicity, replenish the deficiency, and watch what happens. You're going to see totally unrelated organs heal at the same time. And if you've been following me, or if you're new to my page, scroll down and see the testimonies. You're going to see success stories of diabetes, endometriosis, bloating, high blood pressure, acne, fibroids, eczema, joint pain, totally unrelated. But they all healed by balancing their cells, by removing toxicity and replenishing deficiency. I didn't give them each a different plan. The diabetes client and the fibroids client and the eczema client all followed the same plan. They all followed the same program because the root cause of each one of these is exactly the same. So when we remove the toxicity and replenish the deficiency, regardless, it doesn't matter what are the organs, what are the system, what's the system, the cells go back to functioning as they should. And whatever set of symptoms you have reverse and disappear, and the disease goes away. If you are ready to learn how to use food as medicine to heal your body naturally, if you want to understand how this works, if you are just curious about how this works, if you have been diagnosed with a condition and you've tried medication and it's not working and you want to get to the root cause, message me. Let's have a conversation about your health today. And definitely, if you're ready to join the detox program that starts September 15th, by all means, message me and I'll get you set up for that also. Have a great day.